Hello everyone, my name is Katie of Greenland Quilter and welcome to my channel. Tonight we are going to continue on with the pattern testing that I talked about this past Saturday, which is by Andrea of Mama J Enterprises. I'm testing a pattern for her. And we are going to work on section 3 and 4. So let's hope everything goes well with that. Yeah, so that's what the plan is for today, is we're going to work on that. And we're just going to chat. So I wanted to say hello to everyone first, and thank you for coming to the chat and the live. Hi Joyce, and hello Denise, welcome. I also have a poll, so if you don't mind voting, I would appreciate that too. All right, so basically, let me refresh everybody's memory of what it is we're doing today. I have already pre-cut all of the parts of this pattern that I'm going to be doing. And as I said before, it's a test pattern, so I cannot give you the measurements of each part. But I can sew it in front of you and let you see how it comes out. And I don't know why that's down here. Hello, RV Quilt Quest. Do you have a first name that I can learn? Why does it say the poll's complete? That's weird. Okay, that was weird. And hello, Laura. I don't know what happened to the poll, y'all. Something happened to it. It just stopped. Okay, so as I was saying, I am testing a pattern by Andrea, who is Mama J Enterprises. And as I said, I can't share the measurements, but I can share what the pattern looks like. And I'm doing all of mine in batiks. And I am choosing colors as I go along with the pattern. So I don't have everything, all the colors picked out. I'm just doing it as I go along because sometimes that's the way I roll. I like doing it based on what I see in front of me and how the color talks to me. Let me take the other camera off for a second, and I'm going to spotlight it for a minute. I'm going to show you what I have done so far. All right. Okay. This is section 1 and 2. Can everybody see that? Give me a heart if you can see it. Can you see the picture? No one's answering. Okay, so let me put the camera back on this tripod. No. I don't know why I can never show what's on that second camera by pinning it. That just, can you see two pictures right now? The sewing machine and then the one where you see the mouse. Can you see both those screens? Yes to the two screens, or yes, you saw what I showed you over there? I should have been more specific. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do, if you can see both screens, I'm just going to take this back off again. And I hope I don't make anyone sick doing this. This is what it looks like so far. Hey, Terry, welcome, welcome. Hey, Donna, welcome. Okay, so this is section 1 and section 2 that I've already, it's not sewn together yet though. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to start on section 3 next. And then if we get through section 3, okay, then I'll start section 4. Hi, Pat. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Joyce. How you doing? All right. Looks like everybody saw it now. So good, good, good. All right. So what I'm going to do is just start sewing. And what is everyone working on today? Are you working on something or are you taking it easy right now? Let me know what you're up to. So let me show you the colors that I'm going to use. All right, so I'm gonna line this up so you can see what I'm doing. So there's 8 colors per row. Hold on, I'm going to hold it up so you can see it just a minute. I didn't want them to fall off the design board, so I'm going to pin them in place. So this will be for section 3. It will be my next set of colors to use. And with the pattern, what you're wanting is to use like a dark, a medium, and a light. So this will be what the combination of row 3 is going to look like. Ouch. So the first row, there's 4 rows to a section. So the first row, I will be skipping the gray because the gray doesn't start until the second row. So we'll be starting with this green. And I'm going to be chain piecing is what I'll be doing as well. And I'll mark, what I'll do is each row I'll have it separated with a leader. As soon as I find my leaders, I have leaders laying everywhere. Yep, here we go. We've got lots of leaders right here. All right. Okay, so we're starting row 3, which means we're going to be starting with the long side first on this first row. So there's 4 different pieces. And this particular row, we're going to be starting with this long piece first. And then we're going to add the dark green next. I don't know, I feel kind of disorganized for some reason. All right, so let's go ahead and start this one. And I'll be finger pressing to start with, along with using my seam roller. And then when I get each row completely together, then I will press it. Hello, around to it. How are you? Hi, Joy T. Welcome, welcome. Anyone I miss? Hello, Joe. Welcome, welcome. All right. Let's see what everybody said they were working on. Let's see here. Terry says she's working on mini star blocks, then onto her daughter's quilt. Lori says she's working on a Halloween bench pillow. Yay. Pat says she's taking it easy at the moment. Good. And Denise says she's working on a quarter log cabin block in various shades of green and cream. That sounds like fun. Laura says she's sitting down for the first time today, but have to go pick up her dad in about an hour. Around to it says hello to everyone. She's Shirley from Canada. Welcome, welcome. Now I know what your name is. Yay. Let me see here. All right. And Joy says she's working on clue 7 of Tree of Life. Okay. Yeah, I need to get on my Tree of Life stuff, but I'm running behind on everything right now. Okay. One of the things I would advise when this pattern comes out and you decide you want to make it, is you need to try to keep yourself as organized as possible with it. Because it's very easy to get yourself all in a chaos. Unless you can work in chaos, that is. Some people can't do that. They have to be very organized. And there's nothing wrong with that either. It's easy for me to turn it into chaos. Okay. Uh-oh, this one. I have to fix this. I can't leave it. Okay. First things we do is take the seam ripper out and have to fix something real quick, because I wasn't paying good enough attention. So now I'll realign this block so it's laying like it's supposed to be. And we're going to get back on it. It was very fixable. What I might do is do the first row because there's 4 rows to a section. So what I'll do is I'll sew together the very first row so you can get an idea of how it's supposed to look. Y'all, look at this purple. Isn't that pretty? All right. Hi, Rhonda. Hey, Deb S. Oh, I already said hi to Rhonda. Okay, thank you for telling me what your name is. I'll try to remember that. And she made a diamond pendant quilt, and now she's cutting the colorful fabric to make a piano key border. Oh, that sounds like fun. You should go and post it over on my Facebook group so I can see what it looks like. I would love it if you shared it. Okay, so this is down with the purple, and then we're going to start with this one. All right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this first row out and finish sewing it completely together so you can see how it's going to come out. What I've also been doing is pressing these to the darker side of the fabric, but there's no set rule with this because you only have to worry about matching seams when we start attaching the sections. So what is everybody's favorite color? Or do you have a group of colors that you lean to? Tell me about what your love of color is. Something's missing. Uh-oh, I missed something here. Oh, I got it. Never mind. Okay. So this is going to go. You have to make sure when you're doing these that you don't get yourself all turned around. So now we're putting that turquoise next to that darker green. Finger press this one. Okay, then we're going to add the yellow to this lighter turquoise color. I think this is going to make for an interesting quilt top, especially since I'm using some colors that I'm using. I don't even usually lean to them. The greens and the browns I've never used until today, or until I started this, I mean. Okay, now we got down to the turquoise. And there's the purple. And on the very end is going to be this interesting blue color. And this blue really works well with this purple because there's really light color blue dots in this purple. And I think putting this blue next to it's going to help, you know, kind of make the colors come out. Okay. So here's the first row of section 3. Okay, I'm making sure I'm not going. All right, here we go. Here's the row 1 of section 3. That's what that looks like. Okay. I'm going to press it. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Hey, Andrea. Purple and teal or turquoise? All right, let's go ahead and start row number 2. Now, row number 2 is where, remember I said I couldn't start row 1 with the gray? Now we'll be starting row 2. And for those who just popped in, let me show you what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. I'm testing a pattern. This is by Andrea of Mama J Enterprises. And I will be sharing the link in just a second. But this is what the pattern looks like that I'm testing. Okay, now let me share the link. You'll pay her a visit and subscribe if you're not subscribed to her channel. Let's make sure the bot's working. There it is. There's the link. All right, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and start with the gray, which will be the smaller block. And we're going to attach that to the lighter green first. Which is this one. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start chain piecing. Now that you see what I'm doing. If you've not been to Andrea's channel, go on over there and share a little love. And subscribe to her channel. And make sure you spend some time over there looking at her videos and stuff. Dark green. With the turquoise color. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. Oh, here we go. It's the darker turquoise. Or maybe this is teal. It could be teal, but I think these are just two different shades of turquoise. One's just darker than the other one. Okay, we're going to sew that one next. And then we're going to sew the light turquoise to the yellow. Orange yellow, actually. It's a Zoom link? No. Uh-oh, you're right, it is. I don't know how that happened. Leave it up to me to make a mistake. Okay, here's Andrea's link. I'm so sorry about that, you guys. There's the link. Thank you for catching that, Rhonda. And Terry caught it. Thank you. Even on a Zoom, Andrea? Okay, now the next one's going to be the purple and the blue. Okay. And this will be row number 2 I'm finishing up right now as far as this part of it. But I'm going to leave it in the machine and go ahead and put a leader in so that I know I'm ending row 2. Because I want to try to save time, and then I can go back and piece them, you know, keep repeat chain piecing. All right. And I kind of made those leaders shorter. All right, so let's start the next one. Next one. I'm having difficulty with my organization skills today. Okay, so that is order. Okay. I have to remind myself not to say the measurements out loud because I'm used to verbalizing things when I'm sewing by myself. Okay. So what I'll do is when I get all of these pieces sewn together in each row of 4, I'll do that first section first, and then we'll go to the next section and start sewing on it afterwards. Okay, so now we've done. Now we need light. And the 6.5. Ooh, sorry. Ignore that, you guys. I don't know what is with me tonight, but I'm nervous for some reason. I was fine Saturday, so I don't know what the deal is for today. And then we're going to sew the purple to the blue. And that'll be the end of row 3 of section 3. Going to put in another leader so that I can keep myself organized. Now we're going to start with that last row for section 3. Just put this on there. So this is row 4 of section 3. I'm sewing these 2 together. If y'all have questions about this pattern, Andrea will be more than happy to answer you about it. She's who I'm testing for. She's the designer of this pattern, and it's very pretty, and I'm having fun making it. And I will show you again what it looks like. This is the picked pattern. This is what I'm working on. And currently I am working on section 3. row 4. Wait, something's wrong here. Then we're going to sew this last 2 pieces together. Okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this leader off of here, and then I'm going to sew all these pieces together. Leader back in. You have to make sure that you don't get yourself confused and stay within the realm of the colors that should be going together. So I'm going from a gray to a light green, and then I'm using a darker green with the lighter turquoise. Well, this is actually a darker turquoise, and you'll see what I mean when you see the lighter one. So we're going to sew those 2 together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this next 2 pieces and sew those together. So we have the lighter turquoise, as you can see right here. And then I'm going to join the yellow with the purple. And I'll show it to you in just a second. It's actually orange yellow is what it is. Okay, so now I will sew this purple to this orange yellow. And then we'll have one more seam to make after this for row number 2. Okay, I'm going to stop, pull it back out, and we're going to finish this row. And I'll leave it in the machine, and I'll pull it back out when I finish the next section. I just have to make sure that I don't sew on the wrong side of it. Okay, so making sure I turn it in the direction I want it in. And I'm going to join hold on a minute, I need to press this side. Okay, so we're going to join the light turquoise with the darker turquoise. And then I'll go look at what everybody's saying. What do y'all think about these colors so far? You like them? I like them. I'm having fun with experimenting with these green colors. You know, like I said, I don't normally even, I don't know, I guess I'm a little afraid of using colors that not used to using. Maybe that's what it is. And y'all know I use a lot of color in everything I make. I just haven't messed with green. There's something wrong here. Okay, let me restring this again. I don't think it's afraid. I'm just worried. Maybe it's concerned that I might mess up and the color doesn't turn out to look right. You know what I mean? Because I know how to mix cool colors with hot colors. And I know how to mix hots and cold and cold, but green has always been left out in the cold a little bit, and that's my fault. Because green can be pretty on things. Okay. All right. This whole row number 2 has been sewn now. Let me show it to you. You know what I might do is go ahead and sew row 1 and 2 together so you can have an overall look of how it's going to look. So which would you like? Me to sew all the rows first and then join them, or would you like me to, since I have 2 rows done already, join them? What would you like? So here is row number 2 of section 3. Okay. Let me go over here and press it. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Andrea says she's not posted a lot in her channel, but that is where she will be announcing new patterns for purchase. Okay. Mama says she does. I'm sorry. Andrea says she doesn't do Zooms because they are too confusing. Terry's going to go get something to eat. And Andrea says her brother was deaf for 25 years, so she understands. He had implants a few years back, and it took a while to get adjusted, but he is happy he did it. Yeah, that's awesome. Laura says, Andrea, do you know when you will be releasing the pattern Tammy is testing? I know she is making a QOV. I don't know what that means. And I think I'd like to do one like it for my nephew who was injured in Afghanistan. Oh, Quilt of Valor. That's what that is. Andrea says she had heard some people are looking forward to doing it in Christmas colors. She thinks you could do it in any colors you want as long as you remember that you need a light, medium, and a dark. She also tells Laura that as soon as she's finished testing it and giving her feedback, she'll get the edits done and it'll be released. Joyce says, I can't wait for Andrea. You have some pretty patterns. And Andrea says, I like very bright and vibrant colors, so that is what I tend to use in her designs, but in most cases, the colors are up to the sewist. She usually does a charity quilt and donates the quilts that she makes. Pat says the colors are amazing together. Michelle says she really likes my colors. Thank you. Andrea says, I join the rows as I finish them and then join the sections. Okay, that's what I'll do then. I'll go ahead and sew the first 2 rows together so you can have a look. Pat says, I'd like to see them sewn together. Okay. All righty then. I'm caught up now. Let's go ahead and sew these first 2 together. Now, last time I did this on Saturday, one of the things that I did do, now you don't have to do it, but I like to do it because it just helps me in my brain. I like to find the center of these long strips. And all you have to do to find it, end to end, and then where you find the crease or where it bends, that's where your center's at. And then I'm just going to use my little seam roller to mark that center seam. Because I'm going to line it up is what the plan is. I should have used the iron to do that. Now let's find the center seam of row number 2. It's up to you whether you want to find the middle or not. I just find it easier to make sure everything lines up like it's supposed to. Okay, now I have found the center seam. Something's wrong. No, it's not. I thought it was, but it's not. Okay, we're all good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin them so that when I run them through the machine, it's laying the way I want it to. So I'll pin, since I found the center, I've pinned it in the center. I'm going to go to one end, pin end to end. And like I said, this is another part of doing this. If you're not a pinner and you're fine with just free sewing without worrying about it, you can do that too. This pattern is super simple. Like I said, the only thing you have to remember is to keep everything organized, so you don't accidentally put the wrong color in the wrong place, because I will do it if I don't. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just pinning, making sure everything's lined up properly. Andrea says, Lisa, I have all the blocks worked out for your QAL and put them in my her design software. So she's ready to start on the first block. Hey, Joyce. Hello, Samantha. Welcome. Good to see you. And hello, Lisa. There you are. It's good to see you. All right. So now I'm going to go back to the other end of it and do the pinning on the end and work my way towards the center again. Y'all, I need to buy some more straight pins. I am running out. It's funny how quickly you eat them up when you bend them by accident. All right, I'm almost there. So Nikolai will be coming home around October the 11th. However, he will only be home for 6 weeks this go around, because it'll be his team's turn to work Christmas and New Year's, which means he'll be working through Christmas, our wedding anniversary, and New Year's. So on January the 2nd, we will have our 14th wedding anniversary. I'm hoping that all of y'all can help me get to 2,000 by Christmas Day, because that would be a great way to celebrate all these things coming up all at once. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sew this. Oh, we got a problem right here. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and press it in the iron with the iron, and then I'll show it to you. Just one more minute, and then I'll show it to you. I'm just making sure everything's looking the way it should. Okay, here is rows 1 and 2 of section 3. This is row 1 and 2 of section 3. Okay. All right, let's start the next row, 2 rows. What do y'all think about that? All right, let me see what we got to catch up on here. Let me finish. That yellow's going to go next to that purple. All right, turn that around so I don't get confused. And then this one's going to go next to this one. And then there's the gray. Okay, got it. All right, let's read what's going on here. Hey, Lori Clark, how are you? Hey, Katie, I just found out that my cousin is kayaking around Greenland. He's been there for a year doing studies, I think. Maybe he's the one that's been in the K&R news recently, talking about the kayaker going sailing, or they all call it sailing here, so yeah. There's been a discussion about a kayaker. They also lost a kayaker that they found his kayak and his belongings, but they didn't find him. But that was someone else. He was a 37-year-old man, I think, that went missing. That was in the news last week. Okay, Andrea says, Lisa, I'm going to email you the design so you can see which blocks. She's working in case you want to do some of them. Terry says, wow, Lori, that sounds exciting, but I wouldn't do it. Not now, anyway. Andrea says, she has named the quilt Stars and Stripes Forever and probably will write up the pattern. She can do that with her design software. Lisa says, Andrea, you sure can. She has patterns on EQ8 that she hopes to make someday. I have EQ8 and I need to take classes to learn how to use it. It's a lot like a CAD program to me. Andrea says she loves those colors. Thank you. Denise says she likes the bright colors too. Good. Okay, let's get this next row done. First thing I need to do is finger press everything. Let's turn this way. Turn this one this way. And then we have this gray. All right, so this light green is going to get sewn to the dark green. We'll move these two out of the way for a minute. We're going to have these next two rows done pretty quickly. All right. Now we're going to join the purple to the orange yellow. How's everybody's weather? Has it started cooling off your way? What's y'all's temperatures right now? Our temperature is, it's 46 degrees Fahrenheit. And cloudy. It's been raining since yesterday again. So any northern lights I had a chance of seeing, not happening. And there's supposed to be quite a bit of them because we had a big CME hit the planet again. And so it's been making for I saw some pictures from Norway. Oh my gosh. And some from Nuuk, which is here in Greenland. I am totally mesmerized, but it's been raining down here, so we have had none that we could see. Super disappointing when you know about them and you can't see them because there's a cloud cover. It's been raining a lot here in Greenland, you guys, which is, pretty abnormal for Greenland. So whoever's experiencing drought, we're getting your water. All right, this row's been sewn completely together. Now I'll get number row 4 done. And then we'll sew those two together, and then we'll sew all 4 of them together. So you can see the whole section. I need to finger press this part though. All right, go over here and press it with the iron. Okay, let's start the last one for section 3. Okay. Now let's get them all laid out in the proper way. So the light green to the dark green. Glad to see you too, Sandy. How you doing? Thank you for saying that about the gorgeous colors. Thank you. All right. The rows are looking fabulous. Thank you, Pat. Denise says she loves the bright colors. Andrea says those colors rock. And I'm probably repeating this, aren't I? Andrea says it will make more sense when 3 sections are together. Then the excitement of seeing it all come together is off the wall. Yes, I agree. Pat says it's warming up back up here in Delaware right now. It's in the mid-80s, but cooling down at night. Laura says it's supposed to, 106 degrees. Ouch. Terry says, I saw that you can use Excel and Paint to design patterns. I guess just Google it or search here on YouTube. Michelle says it's 82 degrees here in central New York and very clear. Sandy says, I'm in the Bay Area of California. It's very nice today. All right, let's get these other 2 rows sewn together. I mean, other 2 pieces, I'm sorry. Let's see, that's going to go this direction. And that orange yellow is going to go right next door to the purple. Andrea, do you want some feedback tonight, or you want me to just send it in private? Because there's something I thought of that I meant to mention yesterday and I forgot all about it. Actually, probably should talk to you in private because maybe I'm just overthinking it. Okay, so this has been finger pressed. Now let's get this one done. And then we're going to join the light turquoise to the dark turquoise. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to the iron and press it, and I'm also going to find the center of both these 2 rows so I can sew them together. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew 3 and 4 together. Get this gray on the right side. Make sure I don't accidentally sew it on the wrong side. Okay, so that looks like the longer piece. Nope, that's actually the shorter piece. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lay them up here first. Because I'm going to find my center. Now, where is, oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Go ahead and I'm going to pin these in the center so that I have them all nice and lined up. Okay, Andrea, I'll do that. Okay, so now I have the center done. Now I'm going to go back to the other end and go ahead and start pinning. Okay, let's see. What can I ask y'all to tell me about? So what is your favorite sports that you like to watch? I'm not asking about teams. I just want to know, what sport do you like watching or that you follow? What is your favorite athletic sport you like following? And that sport doesn't mean it's just relating to football or whatever. There's all kinds of sports. Like my sport that I participated in was barrel racing my horse. That's actually a sport. So what is your most favorite of sports? Bowling's a sport. Golfing's a sport. Pat says she's not really a sports person. Denise says ice hockey. Hey, I think ice hockey is a lot of fun to watch. It's a little bit violent, but it's a lot of fun to watch. Andrea says she likes football, basketball, and baseball. Samantha says quilting's her sport. Good answer. That's actually a really great answer. I'm almost done pinning here. I just want to make sure I have everything lined up. The less mistakes in it, the better. I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for consistency. That's what's more important here, is staying consistent so that everything comes together the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I now have everything the way I want it, and let's sew these 2 rows together. Nora, I'm busy. I'm not going to take care of you right now, okay? Go back to sleep. Andrea, I really think a beginner could do this pattern. The most time-consuming part of it is choosing colors if you're doing it on the fly. But if you're not and you're following the pattern's colors, you'll be just fine. Also, it's mostly, as long as you stay organized, you should have no problem doing this. I think it's fun. I am having a good time making it. I think it's going to be beautiful when I finish it. Ooh. Michelle says she loves to watch figure skating. I know, right? It is such a beautiful sport. I like the both the figure skating and the ice dancing because they make it look so easy and graceful and beautiful. Rhonda says, I am watching the women's basketball right now. Pat says he was a brave man. Okay, I'm going to go press these. I'm going to make a poll. Let's see. I want some feedback here. Let's see what everybody has to say. All right. So here's the question. Hmm. Okay. So here's the question. The question is, which would you rather see me do? The first answer could be, so section 1, 2, and 3 together now on the live tonight. Or the next choice is hold off until the next live and continue on by making section 4. And the third option is to be neutral. Something is not. Wait. I must have put too many letters in. So, oh, I did. Something must be too long. What's the deal here? Okay. Wow, this pole is pretty persnickety. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why it's not working. Hold on a minute, you guys. Bear with me here, please. Okay. Here's the poll. Let's see what let's have some feedback. Okay. All right, I'm gonna finish pressing. I'll be right back. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up rows 1 and 2 with 3 and 4 and do the same process of pinning. All right, let's get this started. Someone left? I have to run and pick up my dad. See you later, Laura. Drive safe. Andrea says, I wanted to see how easy it would be to follow a minimal written instructions and mostly diagrams and pictures. Yeah, especially for people like me who are visual learners. I find seeing pictures works better for me than just written instructions. I mean, I can read pretty good just like anybody else, but here's the thing. When people are writing books and patterns, and if you think about it, writers have different styles of writing. And what one person might leave out because they just assume you might know it, another person will put it in. Or it could be the way the words are written. And depending on you as a reader, you might articulate it in a different way. But when you have diagrams and pictures that go with what you're reading, a lot of times that helps it make it more, it explains it better, put it that way. I've discovered that here with quilting. When I don't see a picture and then I read a pattern and then the way I read it might be wrong, especially when it comes to things like half square triangles. I have misread those a few times, but having a picture lets you know this is how it should look. And once I learn something visually by doing hands-on, I usually don't have to go back and relearn it again based on reading it. I can just look at the picture and all I need is the measurements and I should be able to go from there. Now, for mystery quilts like the PMQs that I do, that's a different animal all by itself. With cotton cuts, they not only do the written, they also provide pictures so that you can follow along and make sure you're not turning a triangle the wrong way or you're not putting it in the wrong spot. I just think all of you guys who make patterns are talented in how you put things to get how you can go from scratch to something new. What happened to the chat? Did everything shut down, guys? That was weird. I have a message on my screen that says the chat disconnected. Are y'all there? Make sure my everything's working. Oh, okay, Samantha says she's there. Okay, I was about to get excited here for a minute. Okay, I have both sets of the rows done. Now let's get this sewn together. And then I'll look at the poll and let's see what the verdict is. Make sure you vote. Everybody that's in here, I don't know how many's in here, but if you haven't voted on the poll, please vote. Let me see what y'all's thoughts are. right, I'm pressing the seam. Almost done. Ready? Here it comes. Hey, Giovanna, welcome. This is section 3. Section 3. All right, let me have a look at that poll. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, 50% says they want to see section 1, 2, and 3 sewn together. 12% says wait till the next live. And 38% said they were neutral. So that means they don't matter either way. Okay, well, how about I start by sewing rows section 2 to section 3, since I already have 3 down. I'll just go ahead and pull section 2 off, and because now I have to pay attention to the seams of each section matching. So there's that. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew together section 2 and 3 first, because I already had 3 down anyway. And I'll line them up, do the same effect of making sure these centers, this is how I'll line everything up, because then I have to worry about seams as well matching together. So we're going to be taking a little bit more care on where I pin these so that I can make sure the seams that are supposed to match. Okay. Nora, no. I think I'm gonna have to go get her a dental stick. Okay, center's pinned. Let's start at the other end. Now, I'm going to be running into a problem, and I will just improvise because I didn't press my seams open, and I need them to nest. So thank you, everyone. I'm glad y'all like it. I was worried that because I used too much color, you might be put off by it. It's definitely going to be a very colorful quilt. Very happy. All right. First seam I need to do is I have my first seam to nest. That needs to nest. So I'm going to take a little bit more time to be diligent here. Go down here to the next one. So between each section, these seams need to nest with each other so that you can, because that's where it needs to line up. And when I get it sewn and pressed, then you'll see what I'm talking about. Everything will line up the way it's supposed to. So here's my suggestion. On each row, as you're doing it and you're pressing the seams, make sure that every other row that you press, that they're going in a different direction. That way, when it's time to nest the seams, you can get them all lined up properly when it comes to each section. So that's my suggestion on what to do when, that way you're not having issues of the seams all going in one direction. And see, that's my fault because I'm still a newbie. Terry says, hi, I went to clean up the dishes. See, on some of my seams, they already were turned a different direction. Because I was doing is I was pressing to the darker side. So some of them were already turned, but then there's some that weren't. All right. Let's get this all lined up properly. Okay, we're almost there. I just need to make sure I didn't miss a seam by turning it on the other side so I can have a good look at it before I sew it. Mouse is going to have to be moved. And so is this keyboard. All right, let me look at it on the other side real quick. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, let's sew it. Great. All right, I have finished this seam or sewn these two sections together. I'm going to press them and then I'll show it to you, and then I'll take this section 1 down and we'll sew that together too. Okay. Yes, the subscriber mode's on, but let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure I turned it on. Yeah, it's on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. And it looks like I'm being disconnected again. All right, ready? This is section 2 to 3. I know. And the thing is he must keep changing his username because I blocked him and he shouldn't be showing up, and I reported him. Maybe I need to do something inside the bot itself and not on the YouTube channel. Ugh. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach section 1 to section 2. And we're going to just repeat the same as what I've been doing. Line it up in the center first. And then I'll start putting this, matching all the seams together. Are you using the specific line of fabric for this quilt? No. These are all batiks. So it's the same type of fabric. But as far as a fabric line, I have a mixture of them. I couldn't tell. I only have label. I mean, some of these I used came from Fat Quarter Shop and from Missouri Star. And those I know what they are. But the other ones came from Soya. So I have no idea what fabric line these batiks are from. So there's that. All right. Center's matched. Okay, now I'm going to sit down and get these seams matched. But they're all batiks, Laura. Very colorful batiks. Some I've had for a while. So when I opened the ones that are from Soya, some of those, when I opened them, I wasn't too happy with what I found. One of the yardage, I lost over 4 inches on one end of it because it was cut at an angle. And when you square up your fabric, there was no way to avoid losing that much because it was 4 inches on one side and only like a half an inch on the other side. And to me, that's not right. Wait till you see these three together, you guys. I think maybe we'll start seeing the pattern showing up. I hope so anyway. Hey, Patty. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Okay. So this one side's done from the center out. So let's start on the other side and do the same thing. You did a beautiful job at choosing the fabrics. They look amazing together. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. I love color, if you hadn't noticed. I just can't help myself. I have to use these bright colors. But it's given me a chance with this pattern to use some colors I've never used before that I had plenty of boutiques of. So this has definitely had a plus to it, because now I'm experimenting a little bit at the same time. I never thought you could put pink with green, but apparently you can. Almost there with the pennon. Okay, now I have these pinned. So let's get this next seam sewn. And then I'll press it, and then y'all will see all sections 1 through 3 together. Thomas's arm is healing. He says it's still a little bit sore, but it's healing so far. I don't think he'll ever do that again. Hopefully not anyway. It's a pretty big cut. When he showed it to me yesterday, you could see it better because you could see the tissues healing. And when you saw it, it's like, wow, that's way bigger than I thought it was. Because when I saw it the night it happened, I thought it looked kind of big, but I wasn't sure of it. But yesterday when he showed it to me, it's definitely a big one. That's why he got stitches. Okay, keep on going. Yep, it's healing up pretty good. All colors go together in my quilts, Katie. Cool. I think I'm going to have to change the cover on my ironing station because I think that's what's triggering my asthma. I'm almost done, you guys. Sit down. Here it comes. Thank you, Patty, for thinking about him. And I'm doing all right. What do y'all think? Can you see the pattern? Okay, so now I have 3 sections done. Let me see what time it is. Thank you, everyone, for your compliments. Oh, look, I did this in 2 hours, you guys. I am so happy. I don't know if it's like a pixel quilt or not. I've never made one. You'll have to ask Andrea that question. I don't know what a pixel quilt is, actually. So everybody says, wow, they love it. Very nice. Wow, awesome. Wow, beautiful. Wow, beautiful. You can see the pattern. I like it a lot. Thank you, Rhonda. That looks spectacular, says Laura. Thank you all. It's coming along beautifully, says Denise. It's starting to come together. Yeah, it is. That's really nice. And the pattern is amazing. Yeah, Andrea did a super job. Hey, Cherry. And she says, I didn't think it would do up like that. And Andrea says, nope, this is a stripology quilt. All right, so here's my plan of attack. We have sections 1, 2, and 3 done. And what I think I'll do on the next live is I will sew section 4, get that ready, and work on section 5 and get that ready and sew those two together. And then, actually, let me think about this for a minute because I want to get this done in a timely fashion for Andrea. What I probably will do is go ahead and sew section 4 tomorrow and add it to the one that's all the rest that's already sewn. That way, when I go into the live on Saturday, I will have rows or section 5 and 6 cut and ready to go for sewing. And then 7, 8, 9, and 10 will have to be done over the next few days after that. Can you tell Pat how many sections, please? Okay, there is a total of 10 sections. Each section consists of 4 rows sewn together. And these are all strips in different sizes. And let me show you the pattern again. Here's the pattern. So we're about here right now. Right in this section right here is where we're at. So 10 sections consisting of 4 rows per section. I appreciate all. Is it supposed to look 3D? Yes. Right, Andrea, or 2D? Wait a minute. Let me see what it says about it. So this was inspired by Stripology ruler that was received for her birthday. So she took an old block called Tumbling blocks and designed the pattern you see now coming to fruition. The pattern is titled Modern Tumbling Blocks because it takes the old and makes it new again. Stripology is not really new concept. Eleanor Burns has been doing strip quilting for many years before the ruler came to be. The first book of hers I ever bought, or Andrea ever bought, was called Still Stripping After All These Years, and that was many years ago. Okay. Cherry says she would buy that pattern. That's great. Pat says, yes, okay, I saw 3D then. Love it. And Pat says, thanks, Katie and Andrea. Sounds like it's going to be a good size. Yeah, I believe it is. The size of it's supposed to be 56 by 80. And I'm going to put I'm thinking about putting a 1.5 inch border around it. Or either 1 3/4. I haven't decided yet. And it'll either be a dark solid color batik or I'll use a light colored batik. I'm not sure which I plan to do yet. And let me share Andrea's channel with you guys again. Do you hear Nora whining? Somebody's like, feed me, Mom. Okay. Cherry says, yes, I see the 3D for sure. Okay, good, because I'm like, I could see it once I saw it on the camera, which means the further along I get, the more you're going to see it. Thanks, everyone. I hope to do some more of these types of patterns, says Andrea. Okay, so I have come to the 2-hour mark. I am proud of myself because it means I didn't run it over to 3 hours. I want to thank everyone ahead of time for coming to see the video. Yeah, the chat is ahead of the video. I don't know why. Who knows? Thank you, everyone, for coming to the live tonight. I appreciate it. You'll see me on Saturday, and I have a guest sewing with me Saturday, so you'll have to come see who it is. I think I'll be sewing with Jess, and I'll be working on this project mainly so that we can continue on with it. Hi, Joe, and thank you for what you said. So everybody make sure to live, laugh, love, dream, and create from all of that. Have a great night and see you on the next video. Good night, everyone.